got their Rugby World Cup campaign up and running in New Zealand, but they had an unconvincing win over the United States by 22 points to 10. In the build-up to this game, much had been made of the significance of the 9/11 anniversary for Ireland's opposition. But from an Irish viewpoint, this opening game was all about laying down a marker. So it was so far so good, and they demolished the American scrum on the first put-in. But from there, it all really seemed to fall apart in the first half. A catalogue of mistakes and missed kicks at goal meant Ireland were just 10-0 up at the break. Tommy Bowe's try in the closing minutes of the half, the only real bright note.
Has he got the pace to go in? He has!
As well as a real lack of impact from the pack, Stephen Ferris aside, there were problems at half-back and the management reacted swiftly. The second half was just 10 minutes old when Owen Redden and Ronan O'Gara replaced Conor Murray and Johnny Sexton. And their introduction saw a return to basics by Ireland with immediate dividend. Ireland claimed a line out, and a couple of driving mauls later, Rory Best was able to go over almost unopposed. Now, with the result beyond dispute, Ireland produced their best move of the match. Rory Best straightened the line, and from the ensuing ruck, the ball was spread to Brian O'Driscoll, who returned to Bowe for the Monaghan man's second try.
Brian O'Driscoll, numbers out wide, Tommy Bowe back inside, try number 3.
In the closing stages, Ireland went in search of the fourth try that would secure a bonus point. But a loose pass in the game's dying minutes gifted the USA a try that their defence and general approach to the game deserved. Next up, it's Australia in Auckland next Saturday, leaving just 6 days for Ireland to come up with a game plan to try and topple the Tri-Nations champions. Well, reaction at the Taranaki Stadium to Ireland's performance was subdued. Our reporter Hugh Cahill was there.
It's been 4 years since Ireland's massive disappointment at the 2007 World Cup in France, a tournament that ended under a dark cloud and one that was to contribute to the resignation of then-coach Eddie O'Sullivan. Since his departure in 2008, Ireland managed to win a Grand Slam under Declan Kidney, but there could be no escaping the fact that today's performance against the USA in New Plymouth was a step backwards and an uncanny reminder of Ireland's opening game against Namibia in Bordeaux.
We're delighted with the win. First up, it's important to do that. Obviously, there's things in the performance that we know that we can improve on. It's always disappointing, I think, when you finish off a game like that, conceding a try, and especially when you're trying to get the bonus try down at the other end, and that can leave that little bit of a taste in your mouth. But we know there's lots of things we can do.
The Americans can take great pride from their performance on a very emotional day for the country. So too can their current coach.
Well, I'm very proud of the lads, obviously. It was a huge day for us, first game of the World Cup and 9/11 and all the emotion of it, but I thought we played really well most of the time without the ball, unfortunately.
You know, there was too many turnovers. We didn't get a bonus point, you know. Australia and Italy will be laughing.
Well, it was pretty disappointing, to be honest. A little bit worried about next week's match in Auckland.
Eddie O'Sullivan obviously had the USA well prepared, but next week Ireland will be more prepared.
So not quite the blistering performance that the thousands of Irish fans packed into the Taranaki Stadium in Plymouth here had expected to see, particularly against a weak side like the United States of America. But to use a cliched expression, a win is a win. The question now is, can the Irish management team and players turn it around in time to face the Wallabies in Eden Park next weekend? Hugh Cal, RT News, New Plymouth.
It was an early Sunday morning start for Ireland supporters around the country today, including those at Malahide Rugby Club. There were some moments to cheer. But overall, the weary look on the faces was surely down to the Ireland performance and not a lack of sleep.
Very disappointing, wasn't it? Chase of 2007 all over again.
There was an awful lot of errors and that cost them a lot. We should have had the fourth try.
While the win has at least ended Ireland's losing streak, it will do nothing to raise the confidence levels with much bigger games to come.
I think we really wanted to get some momentum from this game given what happened in August, and unfortunately we didn't really hit our groove, particularly from an attacking point of view. I think defensively we were quite sound apart from the last minute try. You know, it's going to be the training field. We're going to have to try and get things right this week with the Australia match coming up.
The demons of 2007 will be haunting them again now, and nobody wants to go back down that line again. But as the game wore on this morning, people started to talk about it again, and nobody wants that.
Coaches, players, fans and pundits all in agreement that a big improvement is now needed. Dave Kelly, RTE News.
Well, elsewhere,